Tez.
Welcome to the Tezdown. Welcome.
I'm the Tez.
Mic check 1 2. Welcome. Welcome to the Tezdown. Party time. Welcome to the Tezdown. It's your boy Tez24. I'm in here today, and it's time to do some stuff. Look, I'm telling you guys right now, today's topic of the show is the price of fame. Now, I know, everyone's going to say, well, you're doing your show, and you're doing all of these things, and you don't seem to care about the price of fame. I absolutely do care. There are some things that I'm not willing to do in order to maintain or get notoriety in the world that we live in today. You know, there's a lot of that I'm not willing to do. I mean, I'm not putting on dresses. I'm not doing it. I'm not, doing questionable things that will compromise my character. I'm not doing it. But let me tell you, we're going to hear about it today. We're going to try not to make any preconceived notions about what's going on. Shout out to Soft Rain, the first one in the building. How you doing today? We appreciate you for coming in early. We're going to try to make sure that you guys truly understand what's going on with everything and how this seems to play out later on. So we're gonna get into our first video early. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat right now. I appreciate you guys. It's early. We know we got to do our thing today. So in this clip that we're about to watch, just move the screen a little bit. In this clip that we're about to watch today, I have a hard time trying to figure out if they're joking or not. What's up, Billy? Thanks for coming through, man. I know they're live at the same time, but I don't have any other time slots today. Had to make it happen, Captain, or otherwise we weren't going to be doing one. Tell the boys I said what's up. But sometimes it gets hard to understand whether or not these people are joking or not. Some of their jokes sound more like real life than jokes. So we're gonna see what's happening here, and this is titled "The Dark Side of Fame."
Has anyone here ever actually been to hell?
Yeah, absolutely.
Everyone?
Of course, yeah.
What's it like?
Well,
hell's terrible, Jimmy. It really is. There's gluten everywhere.
yeah.
Oh,
And they have bowls of Advil instead of M&Ms.
Oh.
Yeah.
And they have dial-up internet.
Awful.
oh no! Wow, that is terrible. But if it's so bad, why did you all go there?
Well, Jimmy, hell is where our agents make our deals with the devil.
Oh, that explains that.
Hell is where our agents make our deals with the devil.
For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul?
I sold my soul to the devil. This is the first time I'm wearing a long dress, so soak it in, America. I sold my soul to the devil. A really weird mental state lately.
You've been in a weird mental state?
Yeah, I keep finding these bites all over my body.
What?
Like that one, and I don't know where they're coming from. So
You actually do have a bite there.
I spend most of my days wondering where these...
Well, have you been to a doctor? I mean, maybe you should get these checked.
No. I think it's a spiritual problem more than anything.
In what way is it a spiritual problem?
Well, I don't know. I feel like if it's not a physical thing, it's like a evil manifestation of spirits that are karmic related. I don't know.
On behalf of Amy, I'd like to thank the devil and all the dark lords who
Don't do the devil stuff.
gave her this award,
The devil stuff.
allowed her to feast on the flesh of the enemy.
Thanks, everybody.
So did you sell your soul? And if so, how much did you sell it for?
I sold my soul for about $55.
Only 55? It wasn't even worth 100?
No.
I sold my soul to the devil. I know it's a crappy deal. Lisa came with a few toys like a Happy Meal.
God using us to show off, to show God is better than the devil. The devil took all the producers, the musicians, the designers, moved us all out to Hollywood, moved us all out to New York, chasing gold statues. Literally signing a contract and selling our souls. They got contracts out there that say, you can't say Jesus.
Had we sold our soul to the devil? How else can you explain us being here on the How these two guys get on
And
it?
people laugh and clap. One more
We
time.
sold our soul to the devil? How else can you explain us being here on the
Why do you still do it? Why are you still out here?
Well, it goes back to the destiny thing. I mean, I made a bargain with it, a long time ago, and I'm holding up my end.
What was your bargain?
To get where I am now.
Should I ask who you made the bargain with?
with the chief commander.
On this earth?
And this earth, and then in a world we can't see.
The whole idea of celebrity and fame has become really convoluted and, kind of bastardized. Like, whereas fame used to be the byproduct of success, and now it's the ultimate goal. And if your ultimate goal is to be famous, then you're gonna do a lot to get there. Like, sign your name in blood in a contract with the devil. Like, you're gonna end up on a one-way street, and it's going nowhere. Like, that's just the truth. I've seen so many people like forsake their moral code and their value systems just for a little bit of fame, and it's not worth it at the end of the day. It's really not worth it.
Thank you to Satan for giving me inspiration on how to play this role. I got to look at this table and say thanks.
I'm very honored to be able to receive this amazing award from the depths of my soul, my passion.
And it's sounding a little bit strange, and I'm like, if you don't get this right now, I swear to Lucifer, I'm gonna.
Who wants to pray to the devil with me? Who's in with me? Come on, hey, let me see those horns. Dear Dark Lord Satan, hope everything's good with you. Ask you to grant tonight's nominees continued success in the music industry. How's that?
Hold on, let me explain something real quick. Before everybody starts screaming and saying, oh, like I told y'all earlier, you must have entered the rapture. And if ain't nobody flying up to heaven right now, obviously all y'all is going to hell. Right with me. So let's get it.
And here's to hell. May we have as much fun there as we had getting there. Huh, Howard?
And we'll be there.
About a week, not today, but about a week ago, I sold my soul. You understand what I'm saying? And ever since I sold my soul, I haven't been happy ever since. You know what I'm saying? And you get anything you want. You get to be rich. You get to have fortune. You get to have everything you ever wanted. You feel me? But you could think I'm cap. I'm not tripping.
I first came to Arizona, man, and I remember one day coming from the studio at 6 o'clock in the morning and pulling over on the highway. We like 4 cars, just to watch the sunrise. And it was at that point that I fell in love with Arizona. I said, you know what, this has to be God's country, because I've never seen anything as beautiful as that sunrise. Then I met the devil in God's country, and it's not so much who, it's what, what happens and the things that the devil does. It's not so much a person, even though he acts through people. You can't call one person the devil. You can't call any one person the devil. You can't do that because no one person has enough power to be the devil, And, it's through all these hardships that I realized that, you know what? This is God's country because I met the devil here. Because if I hadn't met the devil here, I wouldn't realize I was strong enough to overcome the obstacles that the devil would place in my path. And it's by overcoming these obstacles that I realized that this is God's country because he helped me get over these obstacles. He helped me get over these hurdles.
I'm trapped. If I can go back, I never would have rapped. I sold my soul to the devil. I'll never get it back. I just want to leave this game with level head intact. Okay, I'm still alive.
So am I too. You can't kill a spirit even if you tried to. Sold your soul to me. Did I remind you? You remember that night you prayed to God you give anything to get a record deal? Well, Dre signed you. This is what you wanted your life. Also right. Whoa, look at this house. Look at these cars. They're so nice. Whoa. Oh, but you didn't know fame has a price too. Did you just now see the downside too?
I released a gospel record when I was 15 because I grew up in a household where all I ever did was listen to gospel music, and my parents are both traveling ministers.
I mean, it seems to me that most of these streamers and most of these artists and these musicians, they're just talking about how they believe that they sold their souls, their immortal souls that, are intangible. It really starts to make you wonder if there's some truth or legitimacy to this. I'm not saying that I'm not trying to convince anybody. I'm not. But kind of makes you wonder a little bit. Are they just trolling everybody all at the same time? I don't know. But we're gonna move forward a little bit to in the same vein of things, we're gonna move forward a little bit to a group called 3-6 Mafia. We're in the Bone Thugs Harmony. Sorry about that, and we're gonna listen to what they have to say about this.
Now, I think both of you guys had mentioned about the Illuminati and how hip hop sort of falls into the Illuminati trap and so forth. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, I think a brother use anything in order to make it. He'll get out there and act like he's sucking a dick or put on a fucking dress and have a Boo Bear back at the house. It's all about profiteering at this point. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I take everything with a grain of salt. You know what I mean? As far as how deep I think somebody is. Now, the influence on the people could be damaging depending on where they go with it. But to me, a motherfucker throw up a pentagram to sell 3 records. You know what I mean? Or to do something that's, ooh, I'm different, and so on and so forth. So that's how I feel about the situation. I don't feel like their hearts are invested into it. They ain't going to no goddamn meetings and shit and all that other nonsense. Your ass going home watching reality TV and counting your stacks of dough, bruh. And so on, once you finish, you know, presenting that or whatever it is that you need to seem alluring about. So I just think it's a crock of bullshit. You know, to me, as far as hip hop and artists go, you know, it might be people that slip into the cracks and so on and so forth. And of course, it probably exists. I wouldn't know. But that's what I think about that. I just think motherfuckers do that shit in order to sell records and shit. Motherfuckers sell their goddamn soul. You know what I'm saying? Because who the fuck's going to buy it? But they'll say it in order to, it ain't worth shit if you going to sell it. I don't want it, bitch. If it ain't worth shit to you and it's yours, the fuck I want it for. So, you know, that's just what I think. I don't know.
I mean, when you look at hip hop today, do you feel that a certain level of feminization of hip hop has occurred and that's what's pushed more heavily than the more masculine alpha male type hip hop, which is what you guys did, I feel?
People act like they hate the LGBT community. You know what I mean? So there, you know, it's always been like, damn, I hope somebody represents, you know, that side on their angle and on their end. Because back in the days, only San Francisco was notorious in the States of being the place you could go and flower power and all that other stuff in order to be free. So now I think it's them letting off a breath of fresh air and a whole lot of goddamn profiteering. And that's what I think we're in the process of. Eventually, they're going to catch on and so on and so forth. But it has to go through its process. It has to get stomped like that alpha male thing did and so on and so forth. And it'll elevate to the next level.
Right. Well, because in our early days, it was just San Francisco, but you fast forward to 2017, if you talk about the Black community, it's really Atlanta now in terms of like the gay community. And when you look at like a lot of the music, the big music that's coming out, it is coming out of Atlanta. So you're starting to see the intermixing of everything.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And that's what I think. I think it's just a process. You know, that's what I think personally, you know, because like when you see people doing it and you see the commitment towards it, you know, and you see if they're really trying to champion the cause or are they just trying to have fun, you know what I mean, and make money off of it. But yeah, definitely. And it's other places in the East Coast, you know, that accept it. And now all over the world, it's all kind of working out to where if you say anything about a gay person, like they look at you like you ain't shit. You know what I mean? Anywhere. It could be in TV. It could be anywhere and so on and so forth because you're just blatantly attacking someone for something that you're not into. So that's what I think about the situation, you know?
I mean, do you feel that what's happening with the gay community is the same thing that happened with the Black community in terms of civil rights?
After Obama okayed the whole thing and passed a law that they was able to get married and stuff, I just think it's, you know, it's making, everything is making their rounds and where the world is going to and so on and so forth. It's all coming to some sort of a, you know, conclusion organically though, because nobody has their hands puppet mastering anything. Great opinions are great opinions, but nobody's in charge of it. There isn't some gay lord that's like doing shit and playing chess and shit. It just doesn't exist.
Has there ever been a time where you guys artistically were asked to do something that just artistically you guys didn't want to do?
I remember when Crazy wanted me to be on this song and I kicked myself in the butt. Like Eddie Murphy said, I should have did Roger Rabbit. It was a badass song and it was techno and I wasn't ready for that. I forgot what song it was, but everyone loves the song. I think he might have made me put a verse on there and I didn't put my heart into it. And every time that we do the song, I'm always like, I don't want my verse in there, Craig. You know what I mean? And he be like, all right, V, I'll do my verse. But everyone loves the song. So that was the only time for me, you know, because Craig, you know, he's like Picasso in that studio. He no joke. You know what I mean? He know how to put a song together and he know how to get brothers together and make hits. So that was the only time for me.
Okay. Is there any plans for another Bone Thugs and Harmony album?
Man, it could be. We definitely have an end game. You know what I'm saying? Like we said, right now we campaigning for a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get our biopic together. You know what I'm saying? Campaigning for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and all that. So an album would definitely seem likely to come with when all that comes.
Okay, so is the biopic actually going to happen? Because there was news that you were working with Ice Cube or something like that.
I mean, we've been talking to a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? It's still, it's still in the early stages. You know what I'm saying? Like we just now getting everything together. So it's going to take us a minute to get it together because we want it to be done right. So once we start getting everything in order and who we're going to actually go with, we're going to like start releasing all that information.
All right. Are there certain actors that either one of you want to be portrayed by?
My son gonna play me.
Okay.
Yeah. I think you know what I'm saying. I got 4 sons, so out of the 4 of them, they could probably one of them can pull it off definitely.
Right. I know Lil Easy was disappointed that he didn't get to play his dad in the NWA.
And he looked just like him too. He looked just like him.
Yeah, for real.
For real.
Yeah. I mean, he definitely does. I guess the reason was that the acting level wasn't up to the par that they were looking for.
Yeah.
It happens, man. I would love to see a Bone Thugs movie, man. That'd be dope.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We're rolling. Hayden, rolling. Ask Uncle Will. That's what this is. This is a session.
Yeah.
You're the first person.
So I mean, once again, you start to hear the celebrities talk about their celebrity, and it's something that is odd to me. There's there has to be a ceiling. And there has to be a way to crack through it. And I don't know if they're being genuine or disingenuous about it. So we're going to move forward a little bit. This next story is them chronicling a famous person named Will Smith and his take on his fame. Let's see what Will has to say about being famous.
That gets to ask Uncle Will.
Anything?
Anything.
Okay. Would you rather have a normal life or the life you have now?
Ooh, that's a very, very, very deep question. The life that I have now is a life that I've always dreamed about. I built and struggled and fought to have it be just like it is. I love being famous. I love being famous. When I moved into acting, I was like, I want to be the biggest movie star in the world. So Fresh Prince was out, so everybody would call me Will. That Monday morning after the box office receipts came out for Independence Day was the first time somebody called me Mr. Smith, right? So I was like, ooh, I like being Mr. Smith. I like being Mr. Smith. Some people feel unsafe being famous. I feel safe, right? If something were to happen and we had to go to the hospital, I know that we would walk in and the people would put us to the front because Men in Black was popular here. So I feel safe. I know people would help. The perfect example, I was driving and I realized I was on E. So I pulled into the gas station and I didn't have my wallet. And I looked over on the other side and I saw a dude, he was like 36 years old. I was like, that dude's a Fresh Prince fan. So I kind of rolled the window down. I was like, after a couple minutes, he was like, Will? I'm like, hey, what's up, man? What's up? And he said, hey, man, can I get a picture? I said, yeah, man, I need about $10. But then there's definitely the other side. I get sued probably 15 times a year. I have lawyers on a monthly retainer just because you get sued so much when you're famous. There are absolutely painful aspects of this life. I'll get my nephew to walk Red Square. It's just that there's 10,000 people here right now. Like how it's just hard in a public place because of what people start to do. In my mind, I just refuse to allow myself to concentrate on drawbacks. You have to learn how to fight and defend yourself from predators without letting your heart go dark. And that's an extremely difficult balance. But I wouldn't trade this life for anything. I love being me.
All right, Will. I mean, there are some interesting things to talk about when it comes to, is it better being a celebrity than it is being an average Joe that goes to work every day? And then what is the effect on the population from them thinking that you have to be a celebrity to have a good life? we end up with, I don't know, the TikTok generation of people who all think they need to be famous in order to have a good life. And if you're not famous, then your life somehow has less meaning than those who do. I remember a time ago when Kylie Jenner was going to be called the youngest billionaire in the world. And her fans donated their own money to make this happen for her. Not buying albums, not buying merchandise, not buying their products, not buying their music, not buying their shows, literally donating money so that this person can be called the youngest billionaire. And I feel as if they thought in their minds that they somehow accomplished something by making this happen. It's strange to me that so many people would donate their hard-earned money to something like that. I don't know what the distinction is. Is there somehow magically a difference between having $900 million and then having $1 billion? I mean, it's only about $100 million, but yeah, do you really need that much money to survive? What could you possibly be doing that you need to be a billionaire? I have yet to have anyone answer this question for me. If there is someone around that can answer the question of what you need that much money for, I'm all ears to hear about it. But I'm at the point right now where I'm believing that we're in fantasy land. So obviously we're gonna keep on with this, the price of fame, and the next section of today's episode is going to be about streamers and why they don't feel real.
Let's be honest. Streaming today feels like watching the same loud fake person in different fonts. Same voice, same jokes, same fake drama. It's like they all are reading from the same script. What happened to just being real? In this video, we're breaking down why so many streamers, especially in the US, feels fake, and why they all act the same. Somewhere along the way, streamers stopped being people. They started becoming characters. And you see in the blueprint, loud intro.
What's up, chat?
Overreacting to everything.
Chat, there's no way that just happened.
Constant chat pandering.
Oh my god, you guys stop. You're literally gonna make me cry.
Fake laugh at every dono.
Ha, bro, you wild for that. Thanks for the dono.
And a random emotional moment halfway in.
I wouldn't be here without you guys.
It's like they aren't even trying to stream. They are trying to trend. And in chasing views, they lost the one thing that make streaming powerful: authenticity. In the early Twitch days,
so I definitely am someone who was streaming back in those early days. I was making videos on Twitch and YouTube playing my video games. And there was a game called Apex Legends that I was particularly good at, as well as GTA 5. And I pulled up with a lot of followers, a lot of fans, people who loved the game. The game was huge, and it was always authentic for me, though. I say that this show is sports unscripted, culture unfiltered, because I don't like having a script when it comes to making this type of stuff. I like things to be as real as possible and giving my real opinions. And I'm not able to do that if I'm coming with a preloaded script. Now, yeah, obviously there is some, culturing that takes care of getting the content the way that you want to get it. And there is visuals and there is pulling together, the material that we use to react on, to talk about, and to discuss with each other. Yeah, that's a thing. What's not is just having genuinely fake reactions, being live 24/7, not having a chance to do anything privately. I don't think that's real. I think that's manufactured. And yes, there are people who like manufactured content, but the artificialness of it just doesn't appeal to somebody like me. I would hope that it doesn't appeal to people like you either.
People just being themselves. Chill, nerdy, a little bit awkward, but they were still themselves. And now streaming looks more like a TikTok stage play. Everything is exaggerated. And the facial reactions is like a cartoon. And the voice screaming every 5 seconds. Every dono is treated as an earthquake. And chat did it up because every stream is like a dopamine fest. These days, most streamers don't stream, they perform. And there's a formula. It's like reality TV in 180p. Real people acting unreal to get attention from an audience that knows that everything is fake, but they still watch. It's predictable, it's stale, and the worst part, it's not interesting anymore. The scariest part of it, this performative chaos, it works. If you're not screaming, faking beef, or being overhyped, you're invisible. And that's how clout culture works. It's not quality, it's not connection, it's just noise. And it's not even about gaming anymore. It's about content, about content, about content.
And I mean, that's the part right there. We're talking about. It's not about anything other than getting reactions, and that's the hard part. If you're only trying to do this for reactions, then what are you doing it for? You're legitimately acting. It's real people acting fake for attention, for views, for likes, for donations. If you met these people in real life, they don't act anything like that at all.
A feedback loop of fake. And here's what's wild. These creators, they will tell you that they're just being themselves. But if everybody's just being themselves, why do they all look the same, talk the same, act the same? Why do all of them fake for the same laugh? And why does it all feel hollow? The truth is, when the camera is always on, you stop being a person. You become a product. But people still watch. Like me, I don't believe it anymore. The disconnect from the streamers I used to watch, it's just growing. Because the louder every streamer gets, the less I care. So if you who are watching values authenticity, my broken English, stick around. Because this channel is not about screaming, overreacting, overhyping. It's about saying what everyone else is afraid to say. So drop a comment if you feel the same way. And don't forget to share.
I definitely do feel the same way, man. I definitely do. I mean, you start to see that you start to see when it comes to fame or infamy, as many people might consider it, that it's not all it's cracked up to be. And the faked interactions are probably the worst ones, in my opinion. So, I mean, I hazard you guys to try. You know what I mean? I really do. You know, there's you know what? Before we do that, let's just go on. Let's just go on. Let's keep it going.
Awkward and even remove the dead air moments from the pod. Famous or it happened by accident, these viral stars went from regular people to having millions of followers overnight. However, the quicker the rise, the sharper the fall. And today we are going to discuss how these people used their 15 minutes of fame and how nearly all of them ended in disaster, starting with the Backpack Kid, who is a perfect example of making all of the wrong decisions during a brief stint in popularity. Before TikTok became the go-to app to share mediocre dance moves to a global audience, 16-year-old Russell Horning was bored, uploading dance videos to Instagram with zero expectations. Initially, his signature dance style was funny. His core was stiff, his lanky arms just kind of flailed around while he stared emotionless into the camera. Additionally, he often wore goofy outfits and chose to dance to silly songs. Russell was extremely recognizable after watching just one video, which led to him gaining a small following on IG. But his entire life changed when Rihanna posted one of his videos to her 54 million followers. She tagged Russell in a post celebrating her Grammy nominations, and he gained over 40,000 followers in one day. To capitalize on the momentum, Russell pumped out as many dance videos as he could, skyrocketing him up to over 500,000 followers. There was one particular dance, called the Floss, that seemed to get him the most views, with many people falsely crediting him as the inventor of the move. However, his videos were not getting shared because he was an excellent dancer, but rather because he was a meme. Whenever he did collaborate with other dancers, he was often seen as the weakest one. Despite this, opportunities were being thrown his way because of his follower count, like when Katy Perry personally requested that he dance for her Saturday Night Live performance in May of 2017. Russell absolutely stole the show, flossing aggressively while staring deadpan into the souls of millions of live viewers. He also strategically chose to wear a backpack, rebranding himself as the Backpack Kid. The SNL appearance gained him millions of followers, and the floss became a global dance craze. The Backpack Kid was an internet sensation, but he made a few key mistakes that ultimately led to his downfall. Firstly, Russell took every interview and press opportunity he could get. Viral stars will get thousands of dollars thrown at them just to do collaborations with media outlets, podcasters, or live entertainment companies.
So what, you were just getting paid to go show up at parties and shit like that?
Yeah, clubs and parties and festivals and performances and stuff.
So you just pop out on stage, you do the dance, everybody goes crazy.
Yeah.
That's pretty much how it goes?
Yeah.
That's tight. How much can you get to go to a club, if you don't mind? letting us know? Manager shakes his head no.
Manager shakes his head no.
Is it an amount that you're pretty impressed by? Like, are you surprised that you're able to get that much money just
I
to go
mean,
somewhere?
compared to most 17-year-olds, the money that I make from just one appearance, it could take a 17-year-old forever to make that much money.
It's hard to blame someone for making easy money. Then again, the overexposure bothers people because they perceive Russell as a one-trick pony who doesn't deserve thousands of dollars or recognition from these big platforms. Remember before the internet when you actually had to do something to get famous? But then reasonable criticism turned into straight-up hatred. He looks like one of those inflatable aliens you win at an amusement park. This kid-man-child thing scares me. Since he became famous for literally one thing, he had to branch out and try to find other ways to entertain his audience. So he decided to pursue music, releasing one of the worst songs of all time, Flossin'. Although Russell claimed that he was passionate about music, his songs felt like someone who was barely trying or maybe even just joking, rather than a serious artistic endeavor. Virality made Russell feel pressured to just keep doing what is paying the bills, so he resorted back to his one dance move, which ultimately led to a situation where he tried to perform on a stage that he was not wanted on. Whether it be main character syndrome or just a simple misunderstanding, his dance move lost all of its appeal, and doing it made him seem like he was desperate.
I absolutely love, and I know this is going to sound terrible to some people, but I absolutely love when someone goes on someone else's spot or stage without being asked to be there. I love it. And then they get kicked off. I love it. Like you just had so much hubris that you were going to show up to this spot, to this stage, go on it, and be the most important person there. And they kick you off, and no one cares to see you. You weren't invited. I'm a huge proponent of not going places where I'm not invited. So if I'm not invited somewhere, I don't want to be there. That's the truth. If you didn't invite me, I don't want to be there. 9 times out of 10, you invited me and I still don't want to be there. That's called staying in your lane to the nth degree.
Desperately hanging on to his viral moment, which was made 10 times worse when he filed a lawsuit against Fortnite for putting the dance in their game.
It was really my mom and my management that did the lawsuit. I'm kind of just a kid having fun in life. I'm just letting the adults do all the busy work. I don't really know the law like that, so I can't really say if they're like taking advantage of me or anything like that. But like from a mom standpoint, like a manager standpoint, they think that they're taking advantage of me.
A couple days after the lawsuit was filed, videos dating as far back as 2011 were resurfaced showing people who were doing the dance long before the Backpack Kid. Simply put, he did not own the dance, and many viewed it as one final attempt to cash in on his fading relevance. Unsurprisingly, Russell and his team voluntarily dismissed their lawsuit shortly after. The Backpack Kid's 15 minutes of fame were officially over, and despite being hated by the masses and falling off to the point where he receives less than 1,000 views per video, these days, Russell actually seems happier than when he was at his peak. He is pursuing music more seriously and remains dedicated to pushing out a positive message to the world.
But as I got older, I started having a more mature mindset on money. I realized that it's important to choose good decisions on how to spend your money.
Okay, but like you're still being disingenuous with your delivery. You're still being disingenuous with your delivery. And this is the problem that I continually have with these people. Like, how bad do you want to be famous? How bad? Is it really that important that you just continually get more famous and more famous and more famous? Dude, just get a freaking job. Just get a job. It ain't that hard. Like, I'm going to start doing music now. Do you really have a passion for music? Do you want people to look at you and say, hey, that's the guy over there. Hey, like, let's go see him. That's what it sounds like. That's what it looks like to me too. It looks like you just want to be looked at by people. And because you want to be looked at by people, that's what you're trying to do. Yeah, everybody, let's go. I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna show you guys right now. I'm gonna show you guys. You know what? I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like when somebody's not being themselves. You guys get to see me every single day. A lot of you people don't know that I've acted in movies, I've acted in plays, I've directed plays, from elementary school all the way through. And we're gonna show you what happens when you start to act a little bit. Let's go ahead and start this all over again. Okay, let's just start this all over again so you guys can see what it looks like. Not being
I'm the Tez. I'm the Tez.
Welcome to the Tezdown. Welcome.
I'm the Tez.
Mic check 1 2. Welcome. Welcome to the Tezdown.
Party time.
Hey everybody, it's your boy Tez in the house. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Tezdown. We're in here today, and we're going to talk about what it means to be famous. Everybody wants to be famous, right? Especially me. See, I don't even have the energy to keep it going because it's so fake. It's so disingenuous. I'm not, look, if that's what it takes, I will take the guys that come in, the girls that come in, and the people that watch the way that they do. I appreciate you guys for coming in the way that you actually do. I really do, because I don't have the energy to do all that crazy stuff that these guys are doing. I don't have the energy for this. Like, this is a mess, man. I don't want to be a part of that. That's why it makes it so difficult for real streamers, real people who are telling you the truth, people who are talking about the news themselves and just giving their real life opinion, when these people don't have any soul in what they're doing. I mean, just look at this garbage. Look at the expression.
To pushing out a positive message to the world.
But as I got older, I started having a more mature mindset on money. I realized that it's important to choose good decisions on how to spend your.
We're talking about multi-cuts, extra head movement, bobbing it around, using that thing. Come on, man.
Money. I was just invited to do an anti-vaping commercial for the American Lung Association. And of course, my first thoughts were, oh yeah, because I don't vape, I don't smoke, I definitely don't encourage it.
Then again, he openly accepted the opportunity to be on Kai Cenat's stream, where he was absolutely embarrassed by Drewski.
Yeah, see? This is what I'm talking about. They didn't even give this man a chance to finish. They didn't even give him a chance to finish. But you want to be famous so bad. You want to be one of these people so bad. You want to be just like all of them. You see what they're doing? They're clowning him. See what they're doing? They're clowning him. Look at Kevin. Kevin thinks it's funny. Look at Kai. Kai thinks it's funny. Drewski and his character that he's in right there, they all think it's hilarious. That's what you wanted to be. You know what? This is what you get for wanting to be like them. This is what you get. This is what happens when you sell out this way.
Sure, this was just a skit, but Russell was the butt of the joke once again. Becoming a viral star at age 16 is definitely difficult to manage. Maybe he was just young and misguided. However, the same justification cannot be made for Salt Bae, who is a grown man that...
And then you got this deal head. You like, yeah, so fake. Drewski said, nah, that's right. That's what I'm talking about. What's up, Dutch? How you doing, man? You know, like, it's really starting to get on my nerves, and how we put so much effort, so much time, so much real life into the things that we produce, the things that we talk about, the things that we say. You know, we make sure that our facts are facts and our opinions are opinions. And then you have these fake people that just go up there and say and do this type of stuff. And then you got this deal head over here who got himself banned from every FIFA match ever. We're going to hear about it. Let's hear about Salt Jackass.
Should have known better than to be acting like a fool. In 2017, a video of Turkish chef Nusret Gökçe went viral of him dramatically slicing steak, then sprinkling salt from his fingertips down his forearm and onto the meat. What made this so ridiculous was his dedication to making salt sprinkling look like some sort of fancy artistic technique. Combine that with his handsome Johnny Depp resemblance, and the internet gave him the nickname Salt Bae. Salt Bae didn't just embrace the meme, he became it. He continued posting obnoxious videos of him caressing raw meat, dancing with raw meat, and of course his signature salting. He was shouted out by celebrities like Leonardo DiCaprio, Drake, and even cooked for the King of Jordan. The internet fame didn't just gain him followers, it launched his career as a global restaurant owner. He launched and expanded his Nusret Steakhouse empire to over 20 locations worldwide, racking up tens of millions of dollars in revenue. However, with more exposure comes more criticism. Many began to wonder if he was actually this mystical, passionate culinary artist, or just another guy trying to cash in on some fame. One major critique was the outrageous prices at his restaurants that had patrons feeling more...
Hold on, okay. Beef Carpaccio, $275. 1 golden filet mignon, $1,000. 3 golden steaks, $5,000. 1 G giant totem, $17.50. $5,000. French fries, $50. 1 roca salad, $70. 11 golden baklava, $4,620. 2 fruit platters, $480. For fruit? 4 porn star martinis, $480. That's $120 a martini. Monkey 47, $130. 2 Petrius 2009, $198,000 for 2 bottles of wine. 1 Petrius 2011, $65,000 for 1 bottle of wine. This is ridiculous. Who is paying this kind of money to eat out? Is it in dollars? Yes, it's in dollars. It's in dollars. Who is paying this kind of money to eat at a restaurant? Why would anybody feel comfortable paying this kind of money to eat at a restaurant? I don't care if you are the Queen of England. Well, king now. Why would you feel comfortable paying this type of money to eat at a restaurant? This is ridiculous. And there are literally people starving outside right now. People freezing to death outside right now. You paid $480 for a fruit platter. I could probably buy a whole tree for less than that.
Scammed then served. Take the Salt Bae Golden Experience, for example, where Salt Bae will personally serve you your food with a show. A single tomahawk steak costs nearly $1,000, and a burger will set you back almost $200. Now, the prices are so high because the food is covered in edible gold, which sounds fancy.
Yeah, but gold, okay, gold leaf is not expensive. And I'm pretty sure they're going to get to that now, but gold leaf is not expensive, guys.
Until you find out that the gold is worth a measly $10. Then again, rich people blowing insane amounts of money on dumb things isn't exactly shocking. If anything, it fits his brand perfectly. This is the guy who made something as simple as sprinkling salt look like Michelangelo chiseling the final details onto David. However, the real reason people turned on Salt Bae was much more embarrassing than a $200 burger. At the 2022 World Cup, after Argentina defeated France, Salt Bae somehow ended up on the pitch celebrating the victory with the team. How did he even get there? Cameras caught him pulling on Messi's arm, practically forcing him into a handshake. Messi, the greatest football player of all time, clearly was just wanting to move forward, but Salt Bae would not let go. Messi finally gave in and shook his hand just to get it over with, but Salt Bae held on tight and pulled him into a photo. You can see it all over Messi's face that he had no idea who this guy was or why he was even there. It was clear Salt Bae was trying to steal this big moment for himself, but it gets worse. He grabbed the World Cup trophy like he won the damn thing and even did his signature salt sprinkling move over it. As if that wasn't cringy enough, he was posing for pictures with players with their medal in his mouth. These players dreamed and worked their whole lives for this once-in-a-lifetime moment, only for some clout chaser to steal some publicity to promote his overpriced steaks. He responded to the backlash with an apology, claiming he didn't step on the pitch for advertising reasons, but the damage was already done, and Salt Bae's 15 minutes of fame were over. Salt Bae has shut down multiple restaurants after the hype has died down. Many of his remaining locations are drowning in poor reviews, and his London restaurant is down 4.3 million euros as customers have realized his food is way overpriced.
I mean, who wants to pay 680 pounds for one steak? That's over 700 American dollars. Who wants to pay that much money for one steak? You could buy a cow for less than that. A whole cow and have them slaughter it. Literally. I've bought beef products for a party before. And let me tell you, I didn't pay $680 for the entire thing. I didn't pay. I got all that. The same stuff. I got all of it. That was not $680. Wasn't 700 American dollars. 680 pounds British. And I don't understand. I just don't get it. I do not understand why anyone's hubris would make them want to do this with their money.
Bae has resorted to selling his high-end food online now. In May of last year, people started to notice that his steakhouse was listed on Deliveroo and Uber Eats, selling his Salt Bae tomahawk for $500 and a strip loin for almost $900, proving he really hasn't learned from his critics. Then again, there are plenty of rich people out there willing to waste money on overpriced food just because they can, and his virality and social media following alone will easily keep him in business for the rest of his life.
53.1 million followers. All right.
But if you think Salt Bae was making a fool of himself, it doesn't even remotely compare to the Island Boys, whose fall off is much more disgusting than you could ever imagine. The Island Boys are a duo made up of twin brothers, Alex.
Oh, before we even get to these goofies, let's hit the chat real quick. It is wild conversation with Soft Rain. What's up, Roxy? How you doing? That's a half count. Yeah, it is. I'm telling you guys right now. The price of fame is almost unattainable for most. We're not done. We're not done. Let's go.
Fly Soldier, and Frankie Kodiak Red, two aspiring Florida men covered in face tattoos who blew up overnight in 2021 after they posted a TikTok video of them freestyling in a hot tub.
Oh, I'm an island boy. I'm a just island boy. I'm a just island.
Before we even continue, this song is so offensive to somebody who's with Caribbean roots. I'm always offended by it. I'm just keeping it real.
Island boy. I'm gonna get key white guy.
People couldn't decide if the tune was the worst thing they'd ever heard or low-key kind of a banger.
I'm an island boy. What is happening? I don't know and ain't trying to understand it.
Plus, hip-hop has a history for blowing up artists who ride the paper-thin line between trash and fire. Rapper Kodak Black even offered them a record deal after their viral video, which is insane because this wasn't even a real song yet, just two goofballs mumbling in a hot tub. They turned down the deal, claiming that they wanted to stay independent, but this was a huge mistake. They believed.
First of all, if somebody offers you a deal of a lifetime and you know that you are out here on ass, take the deal. They could have had a real record deal with real producers, with real writers, and they could have had, their wonderful fake career that they wanted to have. Instead, they thought they was bigger than the process. Oh, we're not taking that deal from Kodak Black. You literally named yourself Kodiak Red, trying to be like this man and copied his hairstyle. He offered you a job. You didn't want to take it. Once again, people, I go to work every day, and y'all like dudes who don't have jobs. I don't get it. I go to work every day, and y'all like men who don't have jobs. I say it again.
They could make it on their own talent, but if we're being honest, most of their fame came from people clowning them. I played this song at my sister's funeral. She got out of the casket to shut it off. Thank you, Island Boys. This is the 0.01% of germs that bleach can't kill. When they decided to finally cut the record over a beat and released it with a music video, it was somehow worse. This is the type of hidden talent that should absolutely remain hidden. Like many other viral stars, they were paid to do appearances at clubs, which became a prime example of when social media meets reality. At Miami's Club Live, the audience began booing the Island Boys on stage.
I would have booed them too. Can y'all hear this? Let me know if y'all can hear this. Put them up in the chat if y'all can hear this ridiculous stuff that they're singing.
Once music fans realized the Island Boys had no capability of making a somewhat decent song, there was really no reason to pay attention to them, and their 15 minutes of fame was about to be up. The boys needed a new way to profit from their fame, so they began selling personalized videos to fans on Cameo, which apparently was very lucrative according to their previous manager.
They owe me about like $150,000.
From what? Your percentage of the Cameo money?
Yeah.
Is that the only money they're bringing in?
Mostly, maybe a little bit on TikTok, but I mean, it's pretty much run dry at this point.
Right. How many cameos are they doing?
When I was with them, they was coming in hot.
They were viral.
Like it was going like 2-3 hours a night straight cameos.
But with them spending all of their money on designer clothes, jewelry, cars, and mansions, they needed to keep going viral to maintain this lifestyle, which almost always resulted in them making absolute fools of themselves on the internet.
Yeah, she likes the way you look. She thinks you looks good.
They also might have needed some money to hire security because the gangster
Like for real, this fake shit is infecting the minds of everyone on the internet. To the point of where these two idiot brothers thought that they were going to be able to get famous off the backs of just about everybody else's talent when they have zero at all. And then they had an opportunity to actually learn something and get signed, and instead they turned it down thinking that they could take care of themselves, only to get a manager anyway that they owed money. It's really funny.
Persona was not convincing enough.
I was sleeping. Sometimes I argue with you. I'm a real gangster.
In what could only be called an unhinged move, and in hindsight, the final nail in their career's coffin, the Island Boys launched a Fansly, which is basically just an OF. And it wasn't just embarrassing, it was downright sickening. In 2023, the Island Boys posted a video of them kissing each other in a publicity stunt to market their NSFW content. Instantly going viral for the second time, the video got them a huge amount of backlash, with many calling it outright incest, which it is. The twins insisted it wasn't sexual and was only meant to get a reaction, claiming that they just wanted to see how effed up this world is. And it turns out they were right about this world, because after their kissing stunt, it was reported that the Island Boys made almost $400,000 in 3 months just on their NSFW content, temporarily funding their lavish lifestyle. But of course, this resulted in more public humiliation.
What's going on with the shit that's with you two kissing each other and shit? Bro, shut your ass up before I break this. Dude, hey, yo, that ass, I would love to see you try that shit. Bro, what are you talking? I would love to see you try that shit.
Oh my God!
The desperate attempts to remain in the spotlight, combined with a severe lack of talent and expensive lifestyle, has led to incredibly lows for the Island Boys. Kodiak Red was arrested for drug possession and an illegal firearm during a traffic stop. During the stop, a plastic bag containing white pills was found on the passenger side floorboard in plain view. The pills were identified as oxycodone. A further search of the vehicle uncovered a brown handbag containing a handgun with its serial numbers removed, along with a cut straw with a white powdery substance. These days, they pretty much spend all of their time promoting their NSFW content, and trust me when I say they went much further than just kissing each other. And for being honest, this will likely remain a consistent income stream for them, as there are definitely still a ton of people out there that are willing to pay to see this type of degeneracy. But unlike the Island Boys, sometimes we actually find ourselves rooting for a viral star. We hope that they become successful after their 15 minutes are up, like the case of Mason Ramsey, who became a breakout star when a video went viral of him yodeling in the middle of Walmart in Harrisburg, Illinois.
Now, see, being an Illinois person myself, this is one story that I can get behind. I can get behind it. It's not my type of music, but this is a real case where somebody had some talent and they're getting what they deserve because of it.
The clip racked up tens of millions of views in just a few days, turning the 11-year-old Mason into a worldwide meme. Not only is yodeling kind of objectively hilarious, but a child singing a song that was 70 years old was oddly charming. Because of his viral performance, the original song, Hank Williams' Lovesick Blues, skyrocketed all the way to the 3rd spot on Spotify's Viral 50 chart. Within weeks, Ramsey was sitting across from Ellen DeGeneres, who got him invited to perform at the legendary Grand Ole Opry. From there, he was embraced by thousands of fans while performing at Coachella. Major record labels noticed his potential, and eventually Mason would secure a deal with Atlantic Records and Big Loud. The minute Mason and his family walked into Big Loud, I knew we had to work with him. He is a star, but most importantly, he is a down-to-earth kid who loves country music. The Ramseys are an amazing family from a small southern Illinois town just like me. We understood them and their goals and simply fell in love with their story and vision. Proving that he wasn't just a meme, his debut single, Famous, secured the number 4 spot on the Billboard Hot Country Songs and peaked at number 62 on the Hot 100. But viral memes naturally have an expiration date, and soon Mason Ramsey's 15 minutes of fame were over. When the pandemic hit, it forced Mason to take a step back. However, he used his time away from the spotlight as best as someone could in his position. While his voice was maturing, he focused on refining his talent, writing music, and finding his own sound beyond the yodeling kid in Walmart that made him famous. Mason released 3 EPs that gained over 500 million streams combined and secured hundreds of millions of views on his music videos. By 2024, at 17 years old, he decided it was time to take the next step in his career and release a full-length album titled I'll See You in My Dreams. A song featured on the project called Blue All Over caught a lot of attention through TikTok for its classic old country appeal, and I can confirm it is a beautiful song. Now in 2025, Mason Ramsey recently announced his first major headlining tour that has 15 stops. Mason's rise to fame started almost exactly the same as everyone else in this video, but instead of trying to chase more fleeting viral moments or make some quick cash, he honed in on his craft, worked hard, and simply gave the people exactly what they wanted: genuine talent and entertainment. This was one of the few times social media made the right person famous, the only viral kid that didn't switch up after the fame. So while Mason worked hard and focused on genuine entertainment, Babialtov seems to ignore both of those things.
Oh yeah,
as many people
talking about her. No, we not. We gonna end them right there. We are not gonna talk about her today. Yeah, that's how it is. We ain't talking about her. Nope. She can't get no. She can't get no. Not gonna get in that. Last thing we're gonna talk about today. On top of all of this, whether it be selling your soul, doing tricks, becoming a AVE for people, we have the industry plant. And this might be one of the most dangerous versions of fame going wrong. Let's take a look at the industry.
Every time an artist blows up overnight, the internet does what the internet does best. The term industry plant gets thrown around so much now that, it's hard to even know what it means anymore. See, there's levels to this. And let's start with the ones who hide it best. The organic.
Step on the glass, staple your tongue.
These are the artists who still need you to believe that they started from nothing. The story has to feel real. The struggle, the discovery, the breakthrough, the indie darlings who got lucky with a viral moment. But if you look closer, their bedroom is in a $1 million house that their parents own, or that viral moment was coordinated by PR agents and label executives. They keep the aesthetics of DIY, but behind the scenes, there was professional management going on the whole time, even before you knew their name. Artists like Billie Eilish.
I've wanted to do this like my whole life, so I'm a little shaky.
Now, she's talented, but the whole "we recorded Ocean Eyes in my brother's bedroom" thing, that's not the whole story. What they don't mention is Phineas was already working in the music industry. Their mom was an actress. Their dad was in bands. They grew up in LA, already around the entertainment industry. Billie was even homeschooled specifically so she could pursue music.
You grew up homeschooled.
Yeah.
Did that shape who you are and who you will be? Because
And by the time Ocean Eyes dropped, Phineas had already written and produced for other artists. He had a manager. He understood how the machine worked. Interscope didn't just stumble on him on SoundCloud. The setup was already there. See, there was this guy named Danny Rukerson who became her manager. And Danny was business partners with Brandon Goodman. And Brandon managed Fall Out Boy. So Billie already had deep industry connections from the start. See, the organic plant, they're the smartest plays because they keep the indie credibility while having major label resources. They play it cool. That's not the case with level 2. The obvious.
Level 2.
These are the artists who don't exist one day, and then the next day they're on every playlist. The push is so aggressive that even casual listeners notice that something's a little off. You see them on festival lineups before they have a fan base, getting late night TV slots before they have a catalog, collaborating with A-listers on their second single. The machine gives them all the signs of success before they've even earned it. They'll have 50 million streams, but you never heard anybody play their music in real life. They're trending on X, but nobody's actually talking about them. They're everywhere and nowhere at the same time. They're betting that if they push hard enough and fast enough, eventually fans will follow. Most of the time it doesn't work, or it only works temporarily. But when it does work, it works fast. Now, she's cliche to talk about at this point, but the artist most people talk about in this category has to be Ice Spice.
Once again, Ice Spice.
She went from unknown to featuring with major artists in a few months. Munch dropped in August of 2022, and by October, she was already being called the Princess of Rap. And then she was at the Met Gala by May. Also, her music video blew up on World Star Hip Hop. And I can tell you, being in the music industry myself, World Star charges big money to feature you. But if you look even closer than that, her label 10K Projects is run by Elliot Grange. And Elliot is the son of Lucien Grange, who runs Universal Music Group. So it's not just the money, it's also the access and every door being open for you at the same time. Another one is Kid Leroy.
Go, go, go. She always be talking like she no.
Now, he's a controversial one because there's signs of him being an industry plant, but his upbringing and his start in the music industry is pretty highly debated. It's hard to really know for sure. First off, his dad was a music producer and sound engineer, and his mom was a talent manager. And after some digging, I found out that she started a management company called Mama Capone Management to help Kid Leroy and the people he was working with get on the map. And it goes a little bit deeper because the claim is that he grew up in poverty in the ghettos of Australia. But some of these early photos I found would say otherwise. And of course, I wasn't there, so we still can't say for sure. But between the Juice WRLD features and the Justin Bieber collabs, it felt like he was being marketed as the next global superstar out of nowhere. And the most recent person people like to throw in this category is Doechii. Now, when you factor in her versatility and her stage presence, I think it's hard to say that she's not talented or doesn't deserve recognition. But everything was just so aggressive with her rise that people were calling her a plant before giving her a chance. So she signed to TDE, Kendrick's label. They're an independent label, but they got ties with the big three record companies, Sony, Universal, and Warner. She basically went from up-and-coming artist to winning a Grammy for Best Rap Album overnight. And her rise seems legit when you first look into it, because at one point, she just seemed like your average YouTuber that was on the come up. But it's pretty clear that she's had some big label backing before we all knew who she was. It's one thing to develop an artist's talents and skills, but it's another thing to spend major label money on plays and views. But what happens when an artist presents themselves as not having any money and no family and being 16 in the middle of Miami? Amethyst Amelia Kelly, aka Iggy Azalea.
First things first, I'm the realest. Drop this and let the whole world feel it.
A white girl from Australia. But you would never know that from listening to her fake urban Southern accent.
No, you wouldn't.
Better check my tax bracket. What you think was gonna happen? Nagging, now he's leaving, and y'all broke up like madmen.
Oh, not hot.
She became obsessed with Southern hip hop. And during that time, it was so different and unexpected, T.I. couldn't help but roll out the red carpet for her. I mean, he signed her, and they basically constructed an entire persona. They got her on big interviews, featured with major artists like Charlie XCX, and the machine took off from there. At first, everybody embraced her. even the black community. She was invited to the cookout, as we like to say. But as time went on and racial tension started to flare back up in America, she got caught up in the culture vulture conversations. And once the culture rejected her, the machine couldn't save her. Some of it started with the feud between Iggy Azalea and Azalea Banks after Iggy won Best Rap Album at the Grammys.
You know what I mean? That Iggy Azalea shit is not better than any fucking black girl that's rapping today,
Mhm.
you know? And when they give those awards out, because the Grammys are supposed to be like accolades for artistic excellence, you get what I mean? Iggy Azalea is not excellent.
The theys purchase things that they see themselves in, right? And businesses capitalize on that.
And that's fine. So put her in the pop category. Put her with Katy Perry and put her and Miley Cyrus in the same fucking box together.
Don't put it in hip hop.
Don't put her in hip hop.
But she's rapping over a beat though.
But just because she's not singing does not mean it's rap music.
Ultimately, this all led up to Iggy Azalea quitting music and becoming an OF model and a crypto entrepreneur. I think she knew she couldn't keep it up, especially when hip hop legends like Q-Tip started coming out and talking about it. But it goes to show when an industry plan is too obvious, especially when it's built around a gimmick, sometimes the downfall can be just as quick as the rise. The puppet.
If y'all couldn't see that, if y'all couldn't see her being a plant, I don't know what's wrong with y'all. That was so obvious. She's a chick from Australia talking about the South. Yeah, deep South, far South, Southern Hemisphere. Not the United States South. No, not that at all. Let's talk about the puppet, guys. We got 2 more to go after this.
Now, the puppet is where it gets dark and where I might make some people mad. But these are the artists who became what the industry wanted them to be and not necessarily what they wanted to be. Sabrina Carpenter and Katy Perry deserve honorable mentions here. But if you want to see a full inside look on their stories, I'll link my videos in the show notes. Both of them had mediocre to average success in music until the industry overlords got a hold of them and changed everything about them. Katy Perry was a gospel artist, and Sabrina was a wholesome Disney child star. Another artist a lot of people talk about in this category would be Tate McRae. Now, if there was ever a person literally bred to be a pop star, it's probably Tate. Tate has actually been famous since she was around 8 years old. Not for music, but she was internationally known as a dancer. Her mom owned a dance company and had Tate in training since she was around 6. Now, everything blew up for her after she posted a YouTube video of her singing an original song called One Day, which has blown up to over 40 million views.
I've understood that you will never be mine, and that's fine.
Now, usually you wouldn't label this kind of rise as industry plant. I mean, Justin Bieber got the same kind of start on YouTube, but her brand shift is where the water gets a little muddy. She had pretty good success as the bedroom singer-songwriter, but even pop fans got caught off guard by her sexy pop diva rebrand. But who we really got to talk about is Lady Gaga. Stephanie Germanotta was playing piano in New York dive bars in 2005. She was doing jazz standards and just wearing normal clothes. And then she got signed to Def Jam at 19, but she got dropped after 3 months. L.A. Reid, he literally signed her and forgot about her. He just wasn't that interested. He thought she was too normal and too boring, not that marketable. So after that, Gaga changed everything. She was ready to be what the industry wanted her to be. She started studying what worked, what got attention. She analyzed Madonna's career. She dumbed down her skills, simplified everything, and focused on one goal: fame. By 2007, she was a completely different person. She was go-go dancing, setting her hairspray on fire. She wasn't Stephanie anymore. She met her producer, Red One, and got hooked up with Akon, and they just went straight up synth pop. But the interesting thing is she never really hid that she was just playing a character. But usually there's a consequence that comes with not being yourself.
I think real fans probably knew deep down that there was something going on.
You know, letting go of who I was before. And I don't mean becoming, Lady Gaga and leaving that behind. That's not what I mean by that. What I mean is, my life is different now.
The whole Joanne era is where the cracks really started to show. She tried to strip down the sound and perform more as Stephanie than Lady Gaga. It was her trying to find herself again. But the public didn't want Stephanie. They wanted the monster. They wanted the spectacle, because that's what sells. But what if you could sell your music whether it was good or not? That's the case for level 4.
Level
Nepo
4.
baby.
Nepo baby.
These artists were industry before they were even artists. They grew up in recording studios. They had dinner with label executives, got babysat by other pop stars. They'll talk about their journey, their struggle, their grind, but they had access to producers, writers, studios, nannies. They could fail as much as they want and still get another shot. The Nepo baby has mommy and daddy to give them every opportunity they need. Failure is not possible. Willow and Jada Smith were destined before they were even born. Willow dropped With My...
I mean, this is actually pretty common in entertainment in general, sports and entertainment. Like people want to see their legacy. Can they live up to the name of their father? Can they live up to the name of their mother or their grandparents? How many generations can they continue entertaining us? I mean, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. but it's always manufactured.
I hear at 10 years old on Rock Nation. And then she got to quit music because it was too much pressure. Then she got to come back whenever she felt like it. She could experiment with rock and indie, whatever sound she wanted because, failing had no consequence. Then you got Blue Ivy. Now, she did a good job voice acting on Mufasa, but should she really have a Grammy?
Blue, congratulations. You won a Grammy tonight. I'm so proud of you.
Your mom is Beyonce. It don't matter what should be. It just is.
It just is.
Now, the next Nepo baby might surprise some of you guys, but yes, Drake is a Nepo baby. The most talented one for sure, but if you don't believe me, I think it's time that we actually meet the Grahams. So his dad, Dennis Graham, was a drummer who worked with Jerry Lee Lewis. Jerry Lee Lewis was one of the pioneers for rock and roll. Then you got his uncle, Larry Graham, who was a singer himself, and he was a bass player for Sly and the Family Stone, one of the most famous funk groups of all time. And then you got his other uncle, Teenie Hodges, who was a songwriter and guitar player for Al Green. Drake was playing on Degrassi and making 50 grand a year when he was a teenager.
Gimme!
When that ended, he had money and connections that could fund his own mixtapes. Now, starting from the bottom is great branding, but the bottom was middle class with industry connections. But the most successful and possibly the saddest of them all is level 5, the super plan.
The super plan.
The super plan is as close to a robot as you can get. They don't write their own music. They don't choose their image. They don't control their social media. They show up, perform the role they've been given, and then they just collect a percentage. Most of them started from childhood and have even been put through development programs. There's people that control what they eat, control what they say. They'll pretend to date somebody just because it's good for their image. Their whole life becomes content. And sadly, they're the ones that usually have the most trauma and depression and mental health issues. Britney Spears is probably the most tragic example of the super plan. When Britney was on the Mickey Mouse Club, it was basically an all-star training camp. You had Christina Aguilera, Justin Timberlake, Ryan Gosling. They were all kids being groomed for stardom. But when Britney signed with Jive Records when she was 15, they created the whole package for her. Britney could actually sing, but they were giving her baby voice pop songs. And then they even controlled her virginity because she wasn't a virgin, but they told her she had to tell the public that so she could stay pure.
I'm just wondering how you feel about all the constant speculation about your virginity, whether you are a virgin or not.
I really wish I would have never said anything to begin with, because I'm kind of stuck in this little place where people are always asking me. But, that's just something that's part of growing up, and that's just something that we all have to deal with. So
They wanted to keep that young and innocent vibe, but at the same time, they were marketing her to be provocative. By the time she was in her prime, she had been in the industry so long that she was already starting to lose herself. She got married for 2 days. She beat up a car with an umbrella, shaved her head. The constant pressure of being one of the most famous people on the planet, it completely took over. The conservatorship made it even worse. She was unfit to control her own life, but fit enough to release albums and generate millions of dollars. Then K-pop takes us to a whole nother level. They treat music like it's an Olympic sport. They take 12-year-olds and they call them trainees. They keep them in dorms and they make them practice 16 hours a day. They give them personality types. Then in the end, when the company can't make a profit off of them anymore, they disband the group. But the Asian music markets, what they tend to do is they learn from the American music market of the past, because this goes all the way back to NSYNC and the Backstreet Boys. Both of the groups were put together by Lou Pearlman. He was a music manager who both of the groups actually ended up suing in the end. But he held auditions and he picked the members of the group, gave them the music, told them what words to sing. He even did a whole marketing campaign where he put the groups against each other. And the worst of it all, in the contracts, he put himself as one of the members of the group and was stealing money from them. But at the end of the day, the super plant pretty much has no control. Now, there's quite a few artists I didn't get a chance to talk about in the video. So let me know in the comments who you...
Yeah, one day we might cover both of these or one of them, but not today. You guys could tap in with them if you want to check them out. This is Jay Diggs. Yeah, this is Jay Diggs. I'm gonna tell you guys before I go on my little soliloquy, right? You really need to understand that when it comes to making art, when it comes to making music, when it comes to doing this, if you don't have any soul in it, people are gonna find out. And yeah, people might consume your product for a while, but it's going to leave you a hollowed out empty shell if you're inauthentic in what you're doing. Now, if your goal is to only make money, totally understand why you're willing to sell everything else to get there. That's pretty much all I have to say about it. This subject disgusts me to my core. It disgusts me every day that I think about it, and the fact that there are so many kids out here who are being influenced by fake music, fake art, fake talk. Like it's just so much fake and not enough real. I'm gonna shift gears. We're gonna do our random story time, and then we're gonna get ready for chat Q&A. You guys got some questions? Type them in the chat. We're gonna get our random story time of the day going. I haven't watched the story yet. We're gonna see What's going to happen here? Please let it be good. How about this?
So I just went on a first date, and it was absolutely disgusting. It felt like I went on a date with a 5-year-old. I swear to God. But let me tell you guys what happened. And as always, if you like my stories,
So I'm gonna ask you guys a question. Have you guys ever went on a bad date? If you've gone on a bad date, please leave me a little story about the bad date that you went on. If you've ever been on a bad date, let's keep going with the story.
like to hear about my awful dating life, feel free to drop me a follow. But let's get right into it. So I ended up matching with this girl on Hinge the other day. She was really cute. She likes the same things as me: snowboarding, working out. She didn't seem to be too into golf, but whatever. I sent her a message replying to one of her prompts, and we got to talking on the app for about a day. Honestly, for like the rest of the night. And then I gave her my number. She texted me in the morning. We were texting for a few days, getting to know each other, asking all the important questions. And after about 4 days of figuring out what her favorite color was, I said, hey, do you want to go out? She actually told me she couldn't because she was still at her family's for the holidays. But the next day, she told me she was free. So I planned a little date. We were just going to go get food and drinks. And I said, you know what? Let's meet at 7. She said that worked for her, and date was planned. So I'm getting ready. I hit the gym. I took a shower, put a nice fit on, and 6:30, I text her, hey, I'm on the way. I get a text back about 5 minutes later, just says, see you soon. So off to the restaurant I go. I get there about 6:55, check out the place. It's looking good, not too busy. And I tell her I'm here. I don't get a response for about 10 minutes, but it's 7:05, and she's like, hey, just pulled in. I'm so sorry. Traffic was worse than I thought. 5 minutes late, who even cares? That's like being 10 minutes early. So I ask her if she wants to meet at the front door. That works for her. And we walk up to the door. We get there. She looks gorgeous, honestly. Really cute outfit, light makeup. We introduce ourselves, go into the restaurant. And we're sitting at the table at this point, looking over the drinks. I tell her, hey, I'm probably going to get a Blue Moon. She orders a chocolate milk. But honestly, I respect it. You got balls to order a chocolate milk. As a grown-ass woman. She was 27. But we're looking over the menu. We're talking.
Hey, man, if she wants to order a chocolate milk while you guys are out for drinks, let that girl have her chocolate milk. I don't know. There is absolutely nothing wrong with this lady enjoying a nice, cold, chocolate creamy milk while you guys are out at the bar having a date. Let that girl enjoy her chocolate milk, bro. Don't be hating on her chocolate milk.
Getting to know each other a little bit. And we get on the topic of relationships, past relationships. She tells me she's never been in a relationship longer than 3 months in her life. I don't know if that's a red flag or not, but it really felt like it was. And at this point, the waiter's back, so we're ready to order. We went to a nicer restaurant because I got some extra Christmas money and I really wanted a good steak. So I ended up ordering a ribeye. We got some mashed potatoes to share, some cream corn, some cream spinach, and she got a steak sandwich. We order our food. Everything's fine. We're just back to conversation. Food comes out like 20 minutes later. Oh, and I'm sorry. We got some calamari and some bread and butter for appetizers. Calamari was delicious.
I told you guys yesterday, never, ever, ever forget that women are not going to turn down food at the bar. That'll get you in there. Get that mouth moving that way. If that mouth ain't moving in the way you want it to move, put some food in it. Stick a mozzarella stick down her throat. You'll be all right.
This is when it started getting a little weird, though. She is just straight up manhandling this into the sauce. Like not, oh, let me grab a piece, take a bite. It was just, like 7-8 pieces of calamari in her hand at a time, just talking with her mouth full, chewing while she's talking.
This reminds me of the date from White Chicks. If you guys remember the movie White Chicks and how he was eating when he was on that date with Tyrell, this is how.
It was a little gross. But the conversation was good. I was just trying not to think about it. And our entrees have come at this point. Everything looks phenomenal. But when the waiter drops off her steak sandwich, she asks for barbecue and A1 sauce. I'm not here to judge, though. Eat your food however you want. The waiter brings her barbecue, brings her A1. We're sitting down ready to eat. I got my fork, my knife ready. She doesn't need any of that. This restaurant has the sides a la carte, so they don't come on the dish. They come in separate dishes. Normal person takes a spoon, whatever, puts them on her plate, right? No. She literally just takes her hand into the cream corn and just boop, plops it on her plate. Slathers it in barbecue sauce, picks up her sandwich, covers it in A1 sauce, and just starts going in. It looked like your 2-year-old niece on her birthday trying to eat her cake. Face just absolutely covered. Wasn't concerned at all. Didn't face her whatsoever. She even had the napkin tucked into her shirt. Use it. But we're talking, we're having good conversation. It looked like a...
Who tucks napkins into their clothes?
Scene from White Girls. Just literally covered in food. Barbecue sauce, A1 sauce, cream spinach, cream corn. She was eating mashed potatoes with her hands. I never ate my food so fast in my life. All I wanted to do, as much as the conversation was decent, I couldn't stand to covered. So I finished my food and I'm like, hey, I'm pretty full. I think we should wrap it up. She goes, what about dessert? Oh, okay, sure, we can get dessert. We get this little blueberry tart thing with the side of ice cream, couple coffees. Well, I got a coffee. She got another refill of chocolate milk. And it comes. Once again, you think somebody is going to use a fork. No. She literally takes the plate with the ice cream on it and goes.
Yeah, she was doing that on purpose, bro.
What? I was amazed. I don't know what to do. She finished the ice cream. I literally took one bite of the cheesecake. She ate the entire thing. And I pray to God, the conversation was good. She seemed like a cool girl. I don't know what to do. She eats like a 5-year-old. Literally, like, scene from White Girls. Niece at her birthday party just covered in food. She walked out that way. When we left, she had food all over her face. I told her, she was like, yeah, I'll clean it up when I get home.
You, bro.
What do I do? Do I see her again? Do I say something?
No.
Like, hey, do you know what a fork and a knife is?
No.
It wasn't that bad of a date. What do I do?
Nah, she don't like you, and she wanted it to be known that she don't want you to like her. That's pretty much how that one goes. All right, chat, what you guys got for me today? We got any questions, anything that you guys want to ask me about anything before we get up out of here today? I'm giving y'all about 30 seconds. In the meantime, while you guys ask me a question, I'm going to put this up on the board and let you guys see what we got going on over here. To the other side of me, we have the Raw Society Coalition. That is the wonderful sweater that I'm wearing. You guys can get one of these sweaters. If you go into the link in the description of this video, click the link. You guys can get one of these sweaters from our merch department. You guys can head over to the Raw Society Coalition, the Classic Codes, Souls of Thought, Uncle Plug TV, Conversations with Soft Rain, and you're right here on the Tezdown. If you guys can go into all of those shows and subscribe to them, the subscribe button is free, guys. Hit the like button when they go live. There should be a couple different shows popping on a day and for the rest of the week. Catch up some of our old videos. Catch up with some of my old videos. You know, some of them are really good. Yesterday was fantastic. You guys go ahead and check out yesterday too. Because we had to go a little bit short today, so you can get some long content like I did yesterday. And I'm gonna play you guys a little, give you guys a couple teasers and advertisements from the show that we're going to be doing together at the Raw Society Coalition. It's going to be in Chicago, Illinois on February 13th for Valentine's Day. Please get your early bird tickets. The link is in my bio. As you can see, the Eventbrite link is in my bio. This is how it looks. We're going to take a look at that really quick. This is how it looks. You guys go in here and get your tickets. The early bird tickets are right now. This price is going to change. As you can see, here's the lineup: B-Class, Uncle Plug, Tez, myself, Souls, and Soft Rain. It's going to be a pretty decently long show, 4 hours and 30 minutes. Free parking. You know, there's a no refunds policy. Q Bar and Darien, you guys want to get there early. It starts at 7 p.m. Central Time. You know, and we'll be going a little bit late, so I'll read you the overview. Join us for an evening of love, laughter, and live music with B-Class at our Singles and Soulmates Valentine's event. Singles and Soulmates Valentine's Day live panel and concert featuring B-Class. Join us for a night of fun and music at Q Bar Darien. Our event features a live panel discussion on all things love, dating, and relationships, preluded with the concert by the talented B-Class. Whether you're single or ready to mingle or happily coupled up, this event is perfect for celebrating Valentine's Day with friends old and new. Don't miss out on this unforgettable evening filled with good vibes and great tunes. And at the end of the day, I'm going to be there. And everybody loves that, right? You know, if I decide to show up somewhere, you guys should too. So let's go back here. We're going to watch the video. Let's watch the first one.
got that glow. And one thing they hate worse than you having that glow is when you know you got that glow. They don't like that. They don't like that at all. So give them a reason to keep hating on it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, oil farming, how I'm up in rank. Step in the room, they paid away. I get treated like a milli tank. Southpaw like I'm really tank. I do things that they really can't. Envious, cause they really ain't. I'ma win any type of way. That's a parlay you could take to the bank. That's a parlay you could take to the bank. Know some people I love, put some smut on my name. Real life, I'ma still love them the same.
So I'm going to answer this question. We got a question in. The question of the day is, have you ever been on a bad date? In details, please. All right. I have been on a bad date. I'm gonna tell you guys how this date went, and you guys can give me whatever feedback you want about it. So there is a girl that I had met one time. I thought she was gorgeous. And it back in this part of my life, I tolerated this type of behavior. I would message back and forth. She would message. The Snapchat was new, so we get on Snapchat. We'd snap back and forth, and let me tell you, she finally agreed to go out with me one day, and I was super happy. I'm like, okay, I got to go to work tonight, but I got plenty of time to take her on a breakfast date. You know what I'm saying? And I'm thinking to myself, if I take her on a breakfast date, then she's gonna know that I'm not trying to just sleep with her, that I'm trying to spend time with her. We're gonna go to a nice restaurant, and just have some really good breakfast. Let me tell you guys. So I drove all the way a couple towns over to go pick her up. After I picked her up, I realized that she lived in probably the worst area of that town, and so I'm like, well, we're not gonna eat out here. I drove all the way back to where I was living at, and we took her to this restaurant. She's, oh my God, maybe I didn't dress good enough to be up in here. And I'm like, no, it's cool. They know who I am in here. One of the waitresses walked up. Hey, Cortez, how you doing today? Who's this pretty lady? All that cool stuff that they do to get extra tips. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, oh yeah, she's all right. It's a date. We're having a good time. So the girl gets up mid conversation and goes in the bathroom. Doesn't come back for 20 minutes. Now I'm just waiting to order food at this point. I could have ordered already. So I sit down, and so the lady comes back when she sees her after she grabs her food, after she grabs the menu, whatever, and she starts ordering. This girl's ordering one thing, two things, three things, and then on top of the 1, 2, and 3 things she ordered the most expensive thing they had on the menu. It was like $75 steaks. You know what I'm saying, for breakfast. And so I'm like, okay, all right. Now, me today, this version of me, I would have been like, you splitting that. I'm not dealing with that. I see what this is already. But no, back then I wanted that girl's affection. I did. I wanted her affection so bad. I wanted to treat her good. I wanted to make sure that she was feeling real good. What's the topic? The topic is, have you ever been on a bad date? Welcome to the chat. I'm terrified of women. And so I'm telling about a really old story about me going on a first date with somebody. And so this girl orders the most expensive things on this menu. We're talking about she got expensive champagne mimosas. We're talking about she got expensive steak. She got the side culture. So she's got like 3, 4 items. All I want is my skillet that I always get. So the waitress looks at me and says, "You want the regular?" "Yeah, I want the regular. That's all I want. I'm good." Walked up. "Let me get a Dr. Pepper with this." So I'm sitting here with mine that's maybe $25, and she's already racked up probably $80 worth of food so far, 90 bucks worth of food so far. Here's the funny thing about this. She gets up to go to the bathroom again immediately after she finishes ordering. We're talking about, this is 2 bathroom trips already. And all we did was sit down at the restaurant. She hasn't even taken a sip of her mimosa or her coffee that she ordered. She goes to the bathroom, comes back 20 minutes later. So I'm just sitting there, my hands like this, trying to be attentive, off my phone, all the things that you could possibly be doing to make sure that your date's got your attention. I dressed up pretty decently nice. I didn't overdo it, but I was nice and clean and smooth and pressed and everything. I had on my nice hat that day. Made sure I took my hat off so she could see how nice my hair was. Was all lined up, everything that I do at the time. So she comes back and she immediately opens her food up when it finally gets here. We had a little bit of conversation, but she starts tearing into this steak. And I'm like, girl, when's the last time you ate? Oh, I just haven't eaten for a couple of days. I just been out drinking and partying. Wait, you went out drinking last night? We had this date planned for 2 days. And you went out drinking, going crazy last night, which means you probably just woke up after only being asleep for a couple of hours. So I'm starting to get a feeling here that something is wrong with this girl, right? So we have a little bit of conversation. She's taking pictures of her food. She's doing all this. She's doing more for the gram than she is to communicate with me. And I'm like, okay, now, she's a lot less pretty now than she was, 45 minutes ago. That's the first thing that I'm thinking. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm gonna let this go. She eats, takes a couple more bites of her food. She gets up and goes to the bathroom again. This is bathroom visit number 3. In less than an hour, she's gotten up 3 times to go to the bathroom. We're not talking about, mind you, she's not drinking anything. She just started tearing into her food. Three bathroom breaks, but we're talking about not 5-minute breaks. We're not just letting out a leak. She's in there for 20 minutes again. So mind you, a whole hour of us being at this restaurant, she's been in the bathroom now at this point. She has spent more time in the bathroom than she has spent hanging out with me on this date. And let me tell you, this was not a situation that wasn't a date. This was named a date. This was named a date. So let me tell you. So I get the bill back. Me not being a broke brother, I'm just like, you know what? Charge it to the game. And she says to me, hey, I'm not really ready to go back home. Do you want to go back to your house and watch a movie? And so the young brother in me is like, you want to go back to my house and watch a movie? Yeah. Yeah, you can go back to my house and watch a movie. Yeah, you can. Yeah. Come on. Let me grab these bags for you. Get the bags for her, whatever. I only live 5 minutes away from the spot, so I know we're going to get there quick. I'm ready. Oh, yeah, she still look good. Even if she do look a little bit less good than what she was looking before, she still looks good. Yeah. So I take her back to the house. She starts playing with my dogs. We're having a good time. We're watching TV. She said, I got to go to the bathroom again. She goes to the bathroom. She's in there for 30 minutes. Now, the bathroom is not too far away from, everything else in my house. I can hear what's going on in there. All I hear is, ugh, ugh, all of this. And I'm like, dang, she throwing up all that food. Now, mind you, most of the food that she had, that she ordered, is still here because she didn't touch it. She goes to the bathroom, and I'm knocking on the door. I'm like, hey girl, are you okay? I'm doing my best to not say this girl's name, y'all. So I'm like, hey girl, is you okay? Like, is there anything I could do for you? Like, you sound like you're dying. Yeah, I'm okay. Just, I'm like, man, I'm gonna have to clean my bathroom up, man. I know she made a mess in here. This drunk ass girls. Nah, okay. All right. She opens the door. She's wiping her face off. I'm like, hey, you want to take a shower or something? No, I'm okay. I'm okay. So she sits down on the couch. Mind you, now at this point, I got somebody in my house. Ain't nothing about to happen. I know there ain't nothing about to happen because I'm definitely not kissing that mouth. She ain't brush her teeth or nothing. She ain't gargle with the mouthwash that was sitting. I'm like, I told her straight up, I got mouthwash or something. You want some mouthwash? Yeah, I'm okay. Like, 15 minutes go by of us trying to watch this movie. And then she rolls over, screaming, "Ah, oh my God." I'm like, hey, are you okay? I don't know what's wrong with me right now. Like, I just feel terrible. Like, oh my God. And she throws up again. I got to clean that up now. I put my dog in the kitchen, closed the gate up so the dog couldn't get out. And I'm like, all right, cool. All right, whatever. Let me just go ahead and handle this real quick. I'm like, hey, I'm taking you to the hospital. All right, yeah, thank you. Thank you. I really need to go to the hospital. I grabbed her food. So definitely wasn't about to leave all of that in there because if it was the food that made her sick, I don't want to eat it. But I grabbed her food and it was expensive anyway. So she going to take this and I take her to the hospital. And then while I'm at the hospital, she grabs my arm with a death grip and she goes, please don't leave me. I'm all alone. And I'm like, all right, okay. All right, we doing this. Okay, we doing this. We got this. Yeah, we got this. You know, she's still cute, even though she's sick as hell right now. Don't even know why she came outside today. Don't know what's wrong with her or nothing. It's cool. I grabbed her and I put her in the wheelchair and we pushed her all the way up to the front. And she's screaming and she hurting and she being rude to the nurses. And I'm just being my calm self. I'm just being my calm self. The nurses started ignoring her. Hey, nurse, I don't know. We were at breakfast. We're on a date, and then, she started wrenching over in pain, and I don't know what's going on. And they're like, "Oh, you must be used to this." And I'm like, "I'm definitely not used to this." And they're like, "Well, you know what? Because I walked over there after she got pulled to the back and in the hallway. Some hospitals put you in the hallway in the bed first. It's just how it is. At some hospitals, it was overcrowded at the time, and I grabbed her some warm blankets because she was talking about how cold she was. And so when I go back there to get the second blankets, the nurses just go, "You are so patient. You are such a good boyfriend. I hope she knows she's lucky to have you." And I looked at the nurses right in the face and I said, "Boyfriend?" I said, "I just met her. This is our first date." And they were like, "Wait, what?" I'm like, "Yeah, this is our first date." They're like, "Dude, you're just like handling all this stuff for her while she's losing her mind in there from pain." And I'm just like, "Look, if I'm on a date with somebody, whatever happens, happens." And they're just like, "Look, that is the sweetest thing ever. I hope she knows how nice and how wonderful that you are, and that you could put your own needs on hold to take care of her and all this." And I'm just like, "Thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all." So I walk back over there, I put the blankets on her, and she's still going crazy. And then, like, I have to help her get dressed because she can't dress herself, and like her boob falls out. And it's a nice boob, but it falls out. And she's just like, "Oh my God, I didn't intend for you to see me like this." And I'm thinking to myself, "You mean naked, or are you talking about like, in pain like this?" Because, both of those kind of need clarity and answers at this point in my life. But I let it go, right? So the doctor comes in and she's yelling at the doctor, and the doctor starts talking to me, "Sir, your wife." And I'm like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa. This is not my wife. This is not even my girlfriend. This is our first date. Our first date just happened to end up in the emergency room in a hospital." And so they start reading stuff back, and the doctor starts telling her, "Didn't I tell you about this before?" Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, "You told her about this before? Girl, you knew you had gastrointestinal issues and you still out here going crazy. You still out here going crazy." When I say I'm helping her, she got stuff coming out of both ends at this point, y'all. And I'm sitting there helping. I am disgusted. I am mad. I have spent so much money already. I'm spending all my time on my one day off that I had. I wasn't trying to deal with that. So, but you know what? I stayed there anyway. I made sure they put her in the right room, and then I left her food there. I said, "I know hospital food is not good." But "Thank you so much. Like, I can't wait so we can get a better date than this. Like, I'm so sorry, and you were so great." And blah 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 blah. And I walk out of there and I get in the car. And the first thing that I told myself was, I'm never gonna see this girl again, even if I want to. I bet. Let me tell y'all, it's been over 10 years, well over 10 years at this point, and I have never seen that girl again. Never seen her again. Not even once. Now, mind you, every once in a while, she tries to re-add me and pop up on social media, but it's never like, "Hey, I'm sorry for what happened and you were great to me," or any of those things. It's always just, "What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? You see what I'm doing?" Moral of the story is, when you have a really, really bad first date like that, just move on. Just move on. McKenna said, "So that's the key. I have to go on a date with Tez, be in distress, and the only remedy to my pain is for him to put the hoodie on me, and I bolt out of the damn place and never see me again." See, this is why you will not get one. See, stuff like that. She wanted a supervisor babysitter. What's up? What's up? What's up, Billy? How you doing? I'm glad to see you back. I'm terrified of women, said nonchalant king. I mean, what other choice did I have but to be stoic at that point? She's losing her mind. She's screaming like a banshee. She got stuff coming out of both ends. Her ears are running, nose running. It's green bile coming out. She ain't even got no more nothing left in there. It's just straight up bile. And she's just screaming like, somebody is beating her. And I'm trying to let them know. They ask her questions. "Did he do anything to you?" She's like, "No, he helping me." But you wanted all the details. Those are the details. She didn't get Tezdown. She didn't get Tezdown syndrome. She just got a whole bunch of other stuff. Typical Tez to the rescue. What's up, Derek? How you doing, man? This is my dog in here, y'all. What's up, Derek? Good to see you. Hey, man. Derek has had Derek. I ain't gonna tell your story on here, but yes, Derek has been there on several occasions when I have had to rescue someone from themselves. He said she came to you possessed and is wondering what went wrong. Hey, you weren't in The Exorcist. Look, y'all, thank y'all. This is the truth. I was not in The Exorcist. I was not an exorcist. You know, I was not even a priest. I wasn't even a pastor. I wasn't a bishop. I wasn't even a deacon. And this is what I had to deal with. And I'm choosing to never have to deal with those stuff like that ever again. Exactly. I wasn't in there. I wasn't in there. Like, Billy Kershaw, screw you. I made the joke first. Like, it's to take this back. When you are putting your best foot forward on a date and then this type of stuff happens, it kind of makes you not want to put your best foot forward again. But me, I was kind of dumb. So I put my best foot forward on all these dates all the time. And most of them got me absolutely nowhere. And that's when I decided to change and stop doing that. I'm not shelling out big money. I'm not going nowhere fancy. I'm not doing none of that stuff. No, you're not getting none of that, especially if I had to chase you. And that's one of the things we don't do no more. We don't. Tez, you got a number from a nurse then? Nah, not that time. Nah, see, I was already burnt out on nurses by then. I was already burnt out on nurses. If you missed the show from a couple of days ago, I told a story on the human experience with Classic and myself. I told a story about a nurse that I dated and that I was in love with, and what happened there, and how I brought her flowers and candy to her job, and how everybody there was talking about how great it was, and the doctor started clapping, and that's when I found out that the doctor was clapping. I got some dating horror stories, guys. I really do. I got some dating horror stories. I'm not going to tell them all today. What I am going to do is I am going to show you guys the last advertisement for our show that we're doing. We got a show that's coming up. Here's the advertising.
Set me free. I ain't going out like Gandhi, bet it won't be nobody next to me. Cause I'm watching the people I'm loving the close way more than the people I don't. Cause the people that hurt me the most in this life be the people that's locked in my phone. They made a mistake, I gave them some grace. I make a mistake and they won't do the same. People be dishing out what they can take and they take what they cannot get back to the game. I'm unforgiving cause I'm unforgetting. I harbor resentment. I know what you did. Set me free.
Yeah, so thank you guys. Thank you guys for coming out and being a part of today's show. I truly am happy. Once again, I'm going to put this up here. You should have gone to the bathroom. Yeah, I should have. I should have just left her there. Hey, now that we think about it, look, I did leave somebody on a date once. One time, I left them at Walmart. See, we were on a date. The date was going well. She was cute. You know, we were kicking it. We were hanging out. I thought we were going to go back and do a little bit of, you guys know, I was going to do a little bit of that. Instead, she told me that she wanted to go steal air duster from in Walmart, which is the computer desktop cleaners. She wanted to go steal that and do huffing. And as soon as she walked in Walmart, I drove away, blocked her number, never heard from her again. The funny thing about it is we were in a completely different town than where she lived, and I still don't care. I don't care if she ever made it home, to be honest. She could have called the Uber. McKinnon says, I went on a date that ended up being her using me as an excuse to take a nap between shifts. At first, I was bewildered, but then I was like, okay, she's tired. Just let her catch some Z's. Man, I have been asleep. I have been one of the sleep excuses before. I've been one of the sleep excuses before, and it's not fun. That happened way back. Actually, that one came back to bite me in my rump, if we're going to be honest. We got some scary stories. Yeah, man. And the funny thing about it is, you know, a lot of mine because like you were around at that time, you know, when we were growing up. So you know a lot of the growing up stories about how crazy stuff was. Like, I can't tell you, I guess for some of us, like, here's the thing, guys. And I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. It's okay to be nice to women, but don't be a nice guy. Does that make sense? It's okay to be nice to women, but don't be a nice guy. Being a nice guy doesn't really get you anywhere. And I'm living proof that being a nice guy doesn't get you anywhere with women. It's going to get you used. It's going to get you abused. It's going to get you pretty much. That's my brother. And none of us want to hear that when we're trying to lay some pipe. And let's just keep it 100. You know, none of us want to hear that when we're trying to lay some pipe, especially not me. So I can be nice to you, but I'm not a nice guy. And don't call me that either. Kindness is easily taken for weakness. Yeah. McKinnon, oh shit, I dated a girl that literally, not joking, believed she was a mermaid. Like we fought because I made a joke and she got massively offended. Bail hard. Yeah. See, you remember that. Me and the doctor became friends. Yeah, me and the doctor's still cool. Me and the girl, not so much. That other girl, yeah. The nurse that guy had everybody clapping for her in there. You know? It's a crazy world we live in. Funny thing about that story is one of her coworkers is married to one of my good friends. You know, I don't get to see him anymore. That's kind of what happens when you guys get married. We don't see y'all. Hey, we send you a text, you know, every other month, every 2 months, then it's every 3 months, and then it's on your birthday and Christmas. This is how it goes. It's a men thing, you know what I'm saying? But she ended up, you know, working at the same place as her, and then she thought it was funny too. She was having sex with the doctor. I'm like, I know. Why did he come out clapping when he saw me doing nice guy stuff? Nice guy stuff ain't happening no more. I'm just letting y'all know that right now. So if y'all got some ideas for me to do some nice guy stuff, that's not gonna happen. Okay, I learned my lesson the hard way. It was horrible. I never want to do that again. So if you guys, I showed you guys the thing that we do. You guys go ahead and subscribe. It's free. If you guys can really start pushing my subscriptions and my likes, I like that we got a whole lot of views the last couple of days. We didn't get a lot of likes. We didn't get a lot of subscriptions, and we're not getting as many rewatches as we should. If you guys miss a part when we go offline, don't be afraid to go back and watch it. I respond to all those comments and I answer. And then sometimes I take a day or two off so I can catch up to everything, make clips, and then come back fresh for you guys in a day or two. I'm not sure if I'm going to be live tomorrow. I'm not. To be honest, if I don't know if Ben's going live tomorrow. If Ben's not going live tomorrow, I'll probably go live. You know, I definitely want to do another show with Mikey. You know, I miss doing shows with him every day. So, but I definitely want to do another one with him because we were not done yesterday. We just ran out of time. It was like almost 3 hours long, guys. And I'm about running out of time today. So I just want to say thank you again for showing up. Thank you guys for always supporting me the way that you do. And make sure that you guys continue because I like it and I need it and I love it. I'm Tez. I'm 2-4. This is the Tezdown. And I want to thank you guys. I'll see you in another 24. I'm the Tez. I'm the Tez. Welcome to the Tezdown. Welcome. I'm the Tez. Mic check 1 2. Welcome. Welcome to the Tezdown. Party time.